So brands are looking for what good customer experience means, and they would love nothing more than to have a cut and paste solution. But the challenge is that good customer experience means something different for every audience and every brand and every category. And it really is incumbent on marketing and CX leaders to do a better job of understanding what CX means to their audience. There's no cut and paste. You can't just do what Amazon does. You can't just do what Disney or Costco does. So I'm always helping to guide my clients to understand their customers, to develop personas, to understand the customer better than the competition, understand what their wants and needs and expectations are, and that they will begin to uncover what customer experience means to their customers instead of trying to replicate what somebody else has done. So from the customer perspective, it is their perceptions and related feelings that they accumulate at every touch point with the brand. And what we'll point out is that there's two important things about that definition. The first is that every brand has a customer experience, regardless of whether you optimize or measure or even want it. You have it. And the second is that when we say every touch point, we mean every touch point. And so many brands are really concerned about the touch points they tightly control, which makes sense, of course, their own touch points. But it's also their paid touch points, and more importantly, it's their earned touch points. What people say about them face-to-face, in social media, in traditional media, actually impacts people's perceptions and related feelings. I think a wonderful example is Uber. Uber came out of nowhere, swamped this established and protected marketplace of taxis, and they did it because they had this wonderful customer experience. They paid very little in advertising. They just did it by being better, and people loved it, and people told each other. At one point, Uber said that for every 7 rides somebody took, that they got 1 new referred customer. Unfortunately, now Uber has, of course, stumbled, and it's because they've had a lot of reputational issues. Leadership hasn't made great decisions. There's been some scandals about how they've treated employees and how they've treated the drivers, and sometimes even how they've treated the riders. And even though nothing changed with that brand's customer experience, same app, same drivers, at the end of the day, there was a problem, and it's because the earned touch points began to change people's perceptions. And so it really points to how important customer experience is, not just in the front line, but really understanding from top to bottom what we have to do to manage these perceptions and related feelings. Now, the other definition, which is the one that I think marketers and CX leaders need to know, is customer experience management. And that's a discipline. It's the discipline of reacting to and understanding customer interactions in order to meet and exceed expectations. And I'll always say this, I always pause when I give this definition. I say, in order to lift satisfaction, loyalty, and advocacy. So if you define customer experience as every touch point, then you make customer experience everything the organization does. And of course, if you make it everything, it becomes nothing. So what we try to do is we put guardrails up. And those guardrails are, if you are not orienting yourself to loyalty, satisfaction, and advocacy, you are not really doing customer experience.